You tell me 20 times how much you love me and how great I am, but you call me an effing bitch or an asshole or a selfish, spoiled, rotten child to my adult face, you've just destroyed that. So today's video is less research and more just me talking to you. Those of you who watch my videos on borderline and narcissistic parents and emotionally toxic parents, and for those of you who've watched and who have left also messages to me on the YouTube page, just talking about how you felt like you've never been seen or validated with these issues. And it has warmed my heart to know that you're not alone and that you're letting me know that, but also broken my heart to read from so many people who talk about what it's like to have had a parent like this. But because it was your normal, it was sort of normal, but it's not. And so today's video is just really to tell you two things that come from not only my clinical experience and all the knowledge I've gained and life I've lived, but to tell you that there is a confusing nature of this love sometimes around borderline, especially. Many times, and actually that's not even fair, it's true for any emotionally toxic parent who is not always and only toxic. There was a post that was left recently about, well, this is sort of confusing basically because she can be so great when she's in her light, as I call it. And I really want to acknowledge that. I really want to say to you guys that I know that with all love and compassion for borderlines themselves, they most likely are not all dark and it's not all bad. And many of the stereotypes and books we talk about, which I do think help give us a perspective for understanding how unhealthy this type of parenting is. It also sort of like categorizes, and it can demonize this disorder. And make no mistake about it, people with this disorder in a severe way can be extremely abusive, emotionally abusive, physically abusive, not only to their children, but to themselves. But this channel and a lot of these videos are for the adult and young children, meaning young adult children who are watching something like this, about what it's like to have a mom or a dad like this. But these videos have been really focused on moms because typically speaking, moms are the ones who show up and do the majority of childcare still. Now, it could be, like I said before, a mom role, a grandparent, an aunt, whatever, an auntie, whatever you want to call it. But the core of this is that I know it is painful. And I know that there can be confusion around this love because sometimes they can be tremendously helpful. There is nothing they will do more than to help you or be there for you. The problem is this. Oftentimes they're helping you or showing up for you or creating this dependency like mother-child or mother-son so that you won't leave them. So that it's more one-sided, so that you can take care of them and serve them and be there for them. It's not so much about fostering you and your independence and your growth. It's about creating sometimes a sick, needy cycle where you can feel you need them as much as they need you. It creates this dependency. And if you add in things like being a single mother, being an only child, being the oldest child, being in a dynamic with a family where there was this, adult interaction with the parent, which often happens anyway, even if the parents are married, it's very confusing. And so it's like, well, I don't understand. I want her to get better, but she can't get better. And yet she's been there for me and then she's horrible to me. The problem is the horrible is catastrophically horrible and so much more than whatever good she does. It's like I've been saying, if you tell me 20 times how much you love me and how great I am, but you call me an effing bitch or an asshole or a selfish, spoiled, rotten child to my adult face, you've just destroyed that. I'm not saying, like I say, that all parents, we have our moments, we lose our minds, we say things we don't mean. I'm talking about a systematic, ongoing, year after year, verbal, emotional, physical abuse, neglect, all of it. It's confusing when it's good, but the problem is the good will never outweigh the bad if they're not in treatment, if they're not getting support, if they're not trying, and even if they are, it may not be enough for you, and that is your decision to make if you want to be in their life. But especially left untreated, I know it's hard. We want to love our moms. We want to love our dads. We want to be seen and heard. But I am telling you today that you've got to get it straight. You've got to get it clear that whatever good love you got, that's the love you're supposed to get. You didn't get something extra from them. That is what a parent is supposed to do. It's not a bonus round because she helped you out with your kids, or she helped you get into college, or she paid for your college, or she put food on the table. That was her job. Because she loves you and can be kind to you and will tell you how great you are. That's a parent's job. It's not something extra. But I know it feels that way. There can be so much entanglement with parents like this that as we begin to recognize how toxic it was, how hurtful it is, how much it affects our lives today, our relationships, and the biggest issue, the relationship with ourselves. The core sense of I am bad, I'm not worthy, I'm a people pleaser, I'm toxic, I'll never be enough, I can have every accolade in the world. Deep inside I feel alone. All of that is a result of this parenting. And this is my tough love to you. You can't have it both ways. You cannot watch videos like this, do the work, go to therapy, journal, do all kinds of stuff, and then turn around and go back into the same relationship. It's so common that I see people just lost in these chaotic, toxic relationships. They tell me they know she's bad or he's bad, but they just keep doing it. And you are never going to get better if you do that. And I know that some borderlines can hold boundaries if you try to set them and they don't want to lose you, and or they're also getting help. But even if they're not, some people are able to respond. Some toxic parents, narcissists, all of it will respond, but many will not. And you'll have to make a choice. Are you going to let this person continue to take you down with them as they did in your childhood throughout your adult life until there's nothing left of you? You're already carrying the wounds of your childhood. Stop adding the wounds of your adult life. Please, I'm begging you. It will be life-changing. It's also painful and catastrophic to grieve the mother you wish you had or the father you wish you had. That's years of work in itself. I'm not going to lie. But at least grieving it or setting boundaries and beginning to feel good about how you let people treat you, starting with your own parents, will translate into every other relationship in your life. First and foremost, the one with yourself. You've got to understand, you have to face and deal with this relationship. And I know what makes it so hard is that it's not so simple as, oh, she's some evil human. These are complicated, wounded people also. And most of us are not all one thing. But the problem is that the wound can be so painful. And you've got to get that straight, or you're never going to be able to heal. And that's the last part of this. I hope you will get help to do it, because it is almost damn near impossible to heal from parents like this without a therapist, without help, without resources, support, a group, something, without a healthy relationship and partner and who's kind of helping you do some work. But I would say that of all the areas, complex and complicated childhoods and traumas, if they're with the right therapist, can be incredibly helpful, because you get to build almost like frankly, another parent relationship that has got good boundaries, that is healthy and strong and supportive. And the idea is that you take that relationship out into the world. And I can personally say it's been life-changing for me to have the support of amazing therapists and friends who are also therapists in my life, and friends who are not therapists. All that love helps heal whatever our wounds are, but it is especially true in this area. So I hope you will figure it out and know that you are worthy of it, but you cannot stay in the same toxic cycle and heal. And I know it hurts, and I know it's hard, and I know it's complicated. I know you love her, or she loves you, or maybe you hate her and you're thinking this video doesn't matter. But if you have love in your heart for this person, which even if it's just idealized love, it's still really hard to separate and to begin to change. But I know you can do it, and I hope you will do it. So thank you for watching. I hope you'll stay safe and well. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you'd like to join this little growing community. And I really, truly appreciate the things you guys share. It makes me sad sometimes to see it, because I know how true it is, but it also makes me feel hopeful to know that once you know what's happened to you, at least you have a path to begin to heal it. You're never going to be completely over it. Some wounds we have to learn to live alongside, but oftentimes we can find ways to thrive in spite of those wounds. And I hope that's what you'll do. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See you soon. Stay safe. Bye.